It is often said that we live in a dollar democracy, meaning when we buy stuff at the grocery store, the gas station, or even online, we are participating in a type of democratic system. Through market contribution, it is the individual who is the absolute sovereign. To quote Milton Friedman, each man can vote, as it were, for the color of tie he wants and get it. He does not have to see what color the majority wants and then, if he is in the minority, submit. Friedman referred to this as proportional representation. While there is some truth to the dollar democracy argument, it rests on a couple of faulty assumptions. First off, this argument assumes that everyone has the same amount of money and that every actor is participating just as much as the others. This is obviously not the case, especially when you consider the massive wealth inequality in society. Ultimately, the more money one has, the more they affect or pull the economy in their direction. For this reason, markets lean in the direction of people with more wealth. Friedman also assumes a world where there is only one buyer and one seller and then extrapolates his analysis to encompass the entire market economy. The interactions of the two people are only limited to themselves and have no external effects. This is not the case, especially when you take into account that the market system is the largest institution in our society, and its influences are felt by every single member. Not only that, but our cities, our workplaces, and even ourselves are the reflection of market forces. Even a free market with perfect competition cannot yield the desired outcome, since individual with minority preference needs are excluded in what are sometimes called lumpy markets. What all of this means is that the market system is more like representative democracy, where the rich and powerful are the ultimate winners. To complicate matters further, one would have to assume that an actor in a market system has near perfect knowledge. When I go to the store and buy something, I have almost zero knowledge of any of the factors involved in making that product. I might be able to see what country in which it was produced, but I can't see the conditions in which it was made. Were sweatshops involved? Are people being exploited? If the company is in some place like China, does that business support the government and their human rights abuses? Digging a little deeper creates even more difficulties because most products are a combination of other products. Take something as simple as a box fan. It's almost certain that the producer went to another company to get screws, plastic, wires, and a host of other materials. Not only that, the business probably went to another company to get the necessary equipment for the production line, which might include multiple actors who got many of their supplies from other companies. This doesn't even mention the fact that these products need to be shipped by airlines, boats, trucking companies, nor does it consider the environmental impact they have. We can also assume that many of these companies use marketing companies, advertising, and other types of public manipulation. Going even further, the box fan will be sold in places like Walmart, Best Buy, and those filthy shopping centers that cover our cities. What factors are involved in these companies? And what about the companies they associate with? What governments do they support? What companies do they buy from who perpetuate human rights abuses? Even one product would require a massive research project that would have no end. But we're not talking about just one, but millions of products. Proponents of dollar democracy assume that when people buy products, they are lending support to the company and all it does. However, this is not the case because people do not have perfect information. The average person doesn't know what's involved when they buy something. Just because someone buys a box fan doesn't mean they support the company's use of sweatshops, nor the governments they support. When a company buys plastic from an oil company, that doesn't mean the consumer is lending support to wars in the Middle East and their byproducts that will reverberate into future generations, nor does it necessarily mean they support the company's exploitation of the environment. It's hard to imagine the average consumer supports the public manipulation industries, nor the way they influence the news media, turning information into half-truths or just flat-out lies. And very few support the use of lobbyists and campaign contributions by private companies, nor does it mean they want the corporatist world we live in. I could go on, but it seems obvious what's happening. We are talking about a system-wide problem where even going to the store means voting for the status quo, mediocrity, war, death, and humanity's own enslavement. This is not democracy. This is a self-confirming, self-justifying perpetual loop where the actors involved blindly participate themselves into obscurity.